Hello and welcome to Inside the Playbook, presented by Hoosier Network. My name is Gabe Jenkins, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Campbell Manahan and Noah Seuss, as well as our producer Lane. Fellas, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm just happy to be back in Bloomington, back in college, getting the swing of things. I'm really happy to be back in the studio instead of being on Zoom. Our podcast isn't going to be cut short because we aren't paying for Zoom Premium. It's going to be great. I think we're going to have a good show today.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed just being back on campus with you guys, watching these college football playoffs have been amazing so far, and the NFL playoffs are just getting started too. It's just been a great time watching football, and I'm excited for this national championship weekend and this divisional round weekend that we have coming up.
And you know, the national championship, it's between two great teams, and that's who we're looking at today. We're going to start off with Indiana against Oregon.
All right, let's jump right into it. First play of the game, we see Dante Moore throw a pick six to D'Angelo Ponds. He takes it to the house. 7-0 IU very quickly. Oregon had a guy wide open. There was some busted coverage up top on the opposite side of the field that you didn't see in that initial clip. Guys, what do we think about IU's defense coming out strong out of the gate?
Absolutely incredible. I mean, having the defense come out and play like that, it sets the tone for the game when you're not sure, is Indiana going to be able to stop them? Because the first game against Oregon, it was kind of a shootout for the first half of 3/4 maybe of the game. Not quite shootout, but slugfest maybe is the better word. It's a closer contest.
Close game, yeah.
So it's just, how's the defense going to play? And they absolutely put a stop to Dante Moore pretty much immediately. And it's great feeling. I mean, stadium went electric. I think the broadcaster said the stadium was moving from how much people were yelling. It's just crazy.
I mean, it was an IU home game there in Atlanta, which was a lot of fun to see. But, I mean, starting a game, literally you just spot yourself 7 points off the bat. I mean, you start the game up 7-0 without touching the ball. It's a great way to start. And I think that just set the tone, and it ended up looking like the game ended up looking like it did at the start here. That's all I'm going to say.
So then we see Oregon looking for a big response. IU comes out of the gate with a pick six. Oregon gets the ball with their next drive here. We see Jeremiah Johnson hit the double move. He's wide open for the touchdown on 3rd and 12, which ties this ball game right up at 7 apiece. Guys, what do we think about Oregon responding from that pick six?
Yeah, Oregon responded with a lengthy drive, and that just kept Mendoza and the IU offense off the field for so long. You got to think about the TV timeouts that came along with each touchdown. It just took forever for Mendoza to even step on the field because of the pick six, the TV timeout after that, the kick return, the lengthy drive, and the touchdown to top it off. And a double move is just a perfect play call there because of how much IU loves to run zone.
Yeah, and let's just look at this real quick. I got the stats for you on how long this Oregon drive was. 14 plays, 75 yards, 7 minutes and 38 seconds off the clock in this drive. I mean, quite the drive. Now, IU is going to here have a great drive to respond also.
So, yeah, we're going to look towards that IU drive. We see Mendoza hand the ball off to Hemby. We see great blocking from Pat Coogan, who lets Hemby get that first down and set up 1st and goal for the Hoosiers. Guys, what do we think about Hemby getting to the outside on this big drive for IU?
I mean, this offensive line is just doing its job to perfection. Pat Coogan, the transfer in from Notre Dame, it's just a huge piece. I believe Rose Bowl offensive MVP. He just absolutely important and crucial. And as that center, you have so many jobs to do, and to be the pull blocker on that play, absolutely crucial. He did a tremendous job.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the scheme of this run also because when you watch IU on film, it's mainly just right in between the tackles, right up the middle on all their runs, and they get typically like 5 yards per carry also. Like it's a great run scheme that they have there where they just go up the middle. But this time, just have some pull blockers to the outside, use Hemby's speed, and just trick up and like it's similar to how they throw their screen passes to make the defense honest. But this time, just giving a handoff, just use the outside of the field. That way, now Oregon has to account for all of the field.
So we're going to go to what that play led to. We see the two IU wide receivers running a scissor route here. We see Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper right there. So we see, and then Mendoza finds Omar Cooper in the corner, first 7, giving IU the lead right back. Perfect response there from the Hoosiers. Guys, what do we think about Omar Cooper getting his way into the end zone?
So yeah, Omar Cooper on the corner there, and then the outside receiver on the slant. It gives you that little bit of a scissor look, but it didn't actually end up to be like that because there's no safety to split. They just saw the outside leverage on the slot corner that was covering Cooper and read, all right, I'll outbreaking route, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and just a beautiful ball from Mendoza. When you have great route runners like IU does with really their main 3 guys, and honestly, you could even add a 4th to that whole equation. And just Mendoza also delivers a perfect ball almost every time at perfect spot. I only have ever seen his spiral not be perfect. Occasionally the ball is slightly inaccurate, but it's also quite rare, and just perfect pinpoint placement there from Mendoza.
So our next play here, we see Oregon trying to get a response from that Omar Cooper touchdown. It's 3rd and 2 here. Mikael Kamara breaks through the line. Isaiah Jones pushes through to help him, and they get the huge stop to get the ball right back in Fernando Mendoza's hands. Guys, what do we think about this IU defense and Isaiah Jones?
Isaiah Jones is someone we've talked about for a long time. Since our first unreleased episode, we were talking about Isaiah Jones. He's a playmaker, and they just absolutely read the run perfect here. They knew what was coming, and they stopped it behind the line and just hurting Oregon early.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Jones is a player that we all have a one-sided bromance with. I don't think Isaiah Jones knows who we are, but it's just every time with him, every game we watch, he's always making a play.
So we're going to go to the next IU drive here. It's 3rd down. We see Mendoza pick up the first down with his legs. A lot of pressure there was set by Oregon. What a huge run there for Fernando Mendoza. We see his arm talent all the time, but this is huge that he can use his legs in 3rd down situations.
It's also huge that the offensive line could pick up that blitz. I mean, there was a lot of people coming in there, and the offensive line and the running back I think it might have been Hemby or Black, I'm not sure, but they picked it up perfectly. Mendoza ran to the other side away from the blitz, got through the gap, got a first down. Tremendous run.
Yeah, I mean, just it's that ability where he doesn't need to use it very often, but just immediately picking up the blitz is coming. I just need to take off, sees the hole, picks up a major third. I mean, this is 3rd and 9 or whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, just a major play, extends the drive, bang.
So IU didn't score on that drive. They punted it back to Oregon. Oregon has the ball on the 12. They're running an RPO. He fumbles it off the running back. This is just a mistake that you cannot make in this type of football game. And IU recovers it. They have 1st and goal on the 3.
Yeah, to me,
mistakes.
This is on Dante Moore because you have to realize this is an RPO or a play action, depending on how it was called. I don't know. But you have to realize the running back is running that direction, and you have to hold it just a little bit longer so there's time for the running back to go past. Because if there's no pull to the run game there, that play has no purpose because it's just a screen and everyone can see that it's a screen. That part of that play is the fake.
Yeah, and I mean, he made the correct read in terms of not handing the ball off. I mean, the screen pass was there when you watched the play. They were going to get probably 6 to 8 yards on that play there. And just it's a good read by that, but you got to hold on the ball a little bit longer, then go. Because that screen's still going to be there another second.
Because the corners on the other side weren't crashing.
Yeah.
They were still up there.
Everyone thought it was a run. Isaiah Jones, I think, was the edge there, and he was crashing on the run. It was clearly IU thought this was going to be a handoff, and they were going to get some yards. Just got to hold on that ball 1 second longer.
So IU is set up with great field position there. We see Mendoza hand the ball off to Kaylon Black, and he runs it in for the easy touchdown to extend this IU lead to 21-7. Went an offensive clinic there by the Indiana Hoosiers just to get it in the end zone there. So we're going to go to our next play here. We have Indiana's defense rushing Dante Moore. They get him again for another big sack. It's Ratcliffe this time. What do we think about these other guys, not the Isaiah Jones, not the Aiden Fishers, getting in on Dante Moore?
It's crucial because Daly was hurt in the Big Ten game. Is that when that happened?
Yeah.
Big Ten game, celebrating with the fans. And people need to step up, and people like Radcliffe stepping up is just absolutely huge. You think there might be a weakness on the interior of the defensive line, but no, it's just dog after dog stepping up for IU.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stats in the IU defense, not just in this game, but the whole season. Like almost everyone that's played D-line this year has a sack, and it's just there's no like true like this guy's the only guy who can get through and get the pass rush. We need to double him. Everyone is going to be able to get through, and it's that scheme of all the stunts they do, the disguised blitzes, just all the genius defensive tactics they use to get through to the rusher.
So our next play here, we see IU get the football back. We see Charlie Becker. We see Oregon impress man Brandon Finney Jr. against Charlie Becker. Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee, goes up there and gets that football. What an amazing catch we saw from Charlie B.
Yeah, and this play just shows the IQ of Mendoza. I mean, before the play, he looks at the coverage. The coverage is a press man on the right side, and you just need to make a decision on the safeties. What do the safeties do? Now, Mendoza's first read is to the left, but while he's looking to the left, he sees what the safety is doing and curving back up to the middle, and that means the other safety is already coming down, which means Charlie Becker is free.
Yeah, I mean, you see one, and when you're Mendoza, you see one-on-one with Becker, you're just throwing it, especially if it's press man. But honestly, even if it wasn't press, I think you're still, like, he can go up and make a catch. And that's exactly what he sees, and just immediate touchdown. Also, perfect ball right into his hands. And Becker's never going to drop it.
Yeah, it's just strong hands to grab that ball. I don't think the ball moved after it touched Becker's hand at all. I mean, just strong hands.
I mean, I'm surprised the cheating allegations online aren't about the fact that our receivers are, like, using glue on their hands or something. I mean, that's what it should be.
So our next play here, we see Oregon trying to run a successful 2-minute drill. IU sends a lot of pressure. They get to Dante Moore and force the fumble. This is huge for IU before going into the half. They have one more possession in them. Guys, what do we think about this defense so far in this one?
I think our defensive play calling is just tremendous. Do we want to run that back?
Yeah.
Okay. I think IU's defensive play calling is just terrific. I mean, Ndukwe is covered on the edge there, and then Landino just runs up into Ndukwe's blocker, and then Ndukwe's free to just go at Dante Moore. It's terrific play design from IU. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this earlier, but it's all those stunts they run, and right here, another stunt, and this time the stunt comes a little bit delayed even. Oregon's just not fully ready for it at all, and then it's just like wide open rusher all of a sudden, and Moore can't do much there. I think maybe he could have gotten the ball out a little earlier, but he didn't see this coming. He thought he had good protection for a while there.
So our next play, IU got the ball back, of course, on that fumble. We see, who is that? Is that D'Angelo Pons on offense? He finds him on the outside, and he uses his speed to get that first down. The corner, D'Angelo Pons, what are you doing on offense, buddy?
Yeah. Initially looking at that play, you're like, who's our number 5 receiver? Because in my head, I'm thinking number 6 is LeBron. LeBron shouldn't be in. And then it's D'Angelo Pons. Okay. I mean, he's shown his hands already in this game. I might as well, I guess.
Yeah, and I think part of it, what they said later, was IU had this play drawn up for him, largely due to the fact that they believe he has the best change of direction on the team and can use that to get himself all the way to get a first down or a touchdown even. But also, was this just them being like, we're up enough, we're going to crush this team, let's just be a little greedy here? Like, it feels like it's the first half of this game. They're already messing around.
I mean, you can definitely see the change of direction on this play because he's in the orbit motion and then immediately stops on a dime, flips back around.
Impressive footwork.
Impressive.
So we're going to see IU capitalize on the drive right here. Elijah Surratt wants to join in on the touchdown party with Omar Cooper and Charlie Becker. They get another touchdown, 35-7 at the half, Indiana. What pure domination. What a clinic.
Yeah. My pregame prediction for the final score was 38-10, and it was 35-7 at the half, and I was like, oh, I think my score is not going to work. But, IU just played a terrific game. Oregon just didn't come up in the right spots. It just felt like everything was going against them with turnovers and the decision making from Dante Moore, and maybe even the play calling went wrong at some point.
It felt like they kept making those little mistakes, which we don't see IU make most of the time.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're a successful football team, because they don't make those little mistakes.
The coaching is just tremendous for IU. Signetti is probably one of the greatest coaches in the field right now.
I think he's a very strong argument for number one. It's an argument, but he has a very strong one.
Yeah.
And another thing to note here is Dan Lanning, I do believe, is a great coach, but he's had his struggles now in these big games, and he's going to have to get over that eventually. Like that is something I don't think Oregon fans are mad about it yet, but it could be coming if it happens in another 2-3 years. Like he needs to get a big one next year, I think. It's pretty important for him.
Yeah, they just got Dylan Raiola in the transfer portal, which is huge for next year's team if Dante Moore leaves. So I feel like they have a little window here where they have to go on a deep – this was a deep playoff run, but they have to be national championship or bust.
Well, to me, Oregon getting Raiola is just perfect in either circumstance. Dante Moore going or staying, because then Dylan Raiola still has his redshirt year. He hasn't taken that yet, so he can sit back and learn and develop at a seemingly better organization, but you don't really know. You don't know what coaching staff is there. But it's just a terrific look for Raiola. I think it's a great decision for him.
Yeah, and also I think it's good for Moore. If Moore decides to stay, gives him some competition. I mean, it's not Raiola's not going to – he's obviously, I think, going to be fine with sitting on the bench, but he's going to try to fight and win that starting job, and he has the talent to maybe do so. And so it makes Moore have to play even better also if Moore decides to stay. We do not know his current status. Yep. But now let's move on to another game that will be the other team playing in the national title, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. They're facing Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. And this play, we are in the fourth quarter because this game was insane and such a close game that we're just going to start the game here with our film in the fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter even here. We're going to get a Malachi Tony orbit screen pass here. So he's going to run out here. Sorry, it's not writing. Why is it not drawing? Why is it not drawing? Oh, there it is. Okay. This sucks. There we go. All right. Malachi Tony is going to get an orbit screen pass here, and you're just going to see him use his elite speed, makes a man miss right there. He's too fast. Outside, good block by 7. Really good blocks on the outside by Miami's other receivers out there. Gets his speed, picks up that first. Malachi Tony is a playmaker.
Yeah, he is. He is a speed demon. He is a route runner. He is just great at everything that Miami needs him to be, and he's just a huge piece for this team.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that matchup between Malachi Tony and D'Angelo Pons on Monday. It's gonna be a hard matchup for D'Angelo Pons, but I feel like we talked about that every week when it comes to who he's guarding.
Yeah, every week we say it's going to be a hard matchup for D'Angelo Pons, and then every week D'Angelo Pons proves himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a hard matchup, but I don't think it's a harder matchup than Jeremiah Smith. I don't think there can be a harder matchup than him. So he's had hard, challenging matchups in the past already. But right here, this next play, you're going to see Carson Beck be a bit of a statue, but also there's just a little bit of miscommunication from the offensive line and running back with Fletcher here, as he's going to have to make this block on the edge, and Perkins just gets right through him immediately, and he missed that block. Bit of a statue from Beck, but also I don't know what Beck's supposed to do there. It came so quick for him. He's still looking downfield. He doesn't think rush is coming yet, and that ends that drive, and now Ole Miss will get the ball.
Yeah, that was the one drive in that game where we saw Ole Miss's defense actually play consistently well. They got to Beck, and Beck really is not known for using his legs, and he didn't probably think about the guys coming in and swarming him on the D-line.
Yeah, and that's something that you expect to be picked up because of the communication between the lineman and the running back. It just didn't happen on that play.
Yeah. This next play here, you're going to see a guy we're going to see a few times in this fourth quarter specifically. It's Daquan Wright on a corner route. That is a tool that Ole Miss does love to use. and we're going to watch that, is Daquan right here is just going to run a nice corner. They have really good route combo to just open up this route. And Trinidad doesn't put the best throw here, throws it a little high. Daquan Wright elevates, gets a great catch, easy, or just a good completion. I think it was on third down there also. Really good completion from Ole Miss there.
Yeah, that ball was a little high thrown by Trinidad, but the catch by Daquan Wright just recovered that throw. What a catch. Big first down there for the Rebels.
And Trinidad Chambliss is just draft stock up, draft stock up, draft stock up, especially if he is unable to get his sixth year eligibility. He could be a third-round pick easily, maybe even sneak into the second or the first, depending on quarterback desperation from these teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has some problems with the fact that he didn't play maybe enough D1 ball could be a worry, and he also just is a little undersized, maybe could be a worry, but man, is he a playmaker. I have to assume somebody's going to take him somewhat early. It doesn't get past day 2.
And to me, there's 2 drafts you can look at that will define what this draft is going to be. There's going to be the draft with Trey Lance going, was it like 5th overall? Third overall.
Not just third, but traded up to be third.
Traded up to be third.
Yeah.
Sanford.
And then the other draft would be the Kenny Pickett draft, where he is the only quarterback taken in the first round, and everyone else falls to the third.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a better quarterback class than that Kenny Pickett year, because Mendoza is by far better than anyone was in that year. But it
also
does
depends
get a
on
little
who
bit
goes and who doesn't go.
If Dante Moore goes.
Dante Moore is not confirmed. Like currently, I think Ty Simpson might be the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
Actually, he might be number 1 in terms of declared quarterbacks, because Fernando Mendoza hasn't declared yet. Technically, it's quite assumed. But I mean, currently it's a weak class, but we need to see who's going to declare. But right here, we're going to see another play by Trinidad Chambliss. Is they're going to have a little bit of a deeper slant route here, but he's going to run it past those linebackers as Caden Lee is going to run a pretty good route past the linebackers. Trinidad Chambliss picks up the blitz, gets the ball out just in time, beyond the linebacker, gets a 3rd and 9 conversion. Miami, kind of an uncharacteristic blitz there, as they've been trusting the fact that they're going to get their pass rush through just rushing 4, because that D-line is stacked, and especially with just like speed, size, it's an awesome defensive line led by Ruben Bain. They mainly rush 4. That time they send a little bit of a heater, and I think Trinidad Chambliss is too good of a quarterback. He picks it up, gets the ball out just in time. Maybe Miami should have thought about not setting a bit of a pass rush there, just continuing to do their drop back.
And every time you throw up a blitz, you're throwing up a gamble. But this one, it's didn't hit at the right time. It's just not. Sometimes the plays just don't match each other. Sometimes you call a quick throw against a blitz, and sometimes you call a deep throw against a blitz, and this time it just works out for Ole Miss.
Yeah, and Miami's defense is top 5 in the nation at this point, and we saw Trinidad Chambliss really make a big throw here to Caden Lee for this first down.
Yeah, their defense is top 5. D-line, I think, is 1. I think it's number 1. I think that's pretty easy to say right now, especially with how they've played as of late. But right here, you're going to have a not great play by Carson Beck, a little bit of a lucky play. And sorry, I forgot to say, Ole Miss ended up that drive on a field goal. So now Miami's time to respond. They're down now 2 points. They're going to have a little bit of just a streak with a little bit of an inside to it, as Carson Beck is going to see the 1-on-1, decide to throw it. In fact, the receiver has a bit of a step on him, but just underthrown. Gets a little lucky, though, because a lot of times when those balls are underthrown, it puts the corner in a really tough spot. Pretty bad PI there. I mean, it is blatant pass interference. It's a little unlucky for the corner, probably, because he thinks it's going to be a deeper ball, but they get a good 15 yards there on that play.
And sometimes the corner is just put in a trap because your eyes are on the receiver. In this instance, your eyes are on the receiver, and you're watching him, and then suddenly he slows down because he knows the ball's there. You don't necessarily know the ball's coming yet, and you don't have enough time to react, and then you're falling into him, and that's immediate pass interference. It's just a rough spot to be in.
I feel like when a quarterback sees his wide receiver getting mauled on the other side of the field, downfield, you would maybe try to underthrow it, a little underthrow there, because if you overthrow it, you might not get the flag call.
See, but he had a little bit of gap on his release, so if you overthrow it, there's more of a chance that he can just
Go and catch it.
it.
Yeah. Now, this next play is just going to be an awesome play, and again by Malachi Tony on a screen pass once again. They're going to put him in motion, the true freshman here. And then you're going to have Marion, this outside receiver, get a crucial block here on the play, as then it's just Tony doing his thing. I'm not even sure this block was that crucial because I think Tony might have made a man miss because, man, does he just squirm through all of these Ole Miss defenders. Touchdown, Miami. That's just a massive play. They do, I believe, go for 2 and fail there. Is that correct? Or did they kick the extra point? Actually, never mind. They kicked the extra point. Never mind. Scratch that.
So, yeah, this is going to be probably a common play call in IU Miami because both teams love to call screens. So IU's going to get a little taste of their own medicine. Miami's going to get a taste of their own medicine. It's just going to be a chess match, basically.
Yeah, and they both have the weapons to give that open space to. I would say for IU, it's Omar Cooper. For Miami, it's Malachi Tony. So both guys can really use their speed to their advantage and get major yard games for their team.
Yeah. And now Ole Miss has the ball, a chance to respond, down 5 minutes up in this game. This game is getting intense. Winner goes to the national title. And this is something I think Miami's going to have to change on their scheme this next game because once again, Ole Miss basically just comes out on the exact same play. Corner route to Daquan Wright is going to be the open man again. And you're just going to find it's the same route combo all the way through here for this play. And you're going to have the wide open Daquan Wright. This time, Trinidad Chambers puts that throw right in the money when he gets his second chance at it. And that's just an easy pickup.
It's a clear out, and then the corner, it's a great combination against, I assume, a zone here for that combo to work as well as it has been. It's just a terrific play design that you have hit on all week as a coach. You're like, they're going to be in this type of zone. We have this perfect combination against it. Be ready to throw this middle pass. Get used to that pass.
Yeah, we saw them do it a couple times during the game. Of course, the play that went over before, and then this time, both to Daquan Wright, wide open. This time he nails the throw. Easy first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, and then this next play, Ole Miss is going to go back to their old tricks. This time they're going to flip the play a little bit. This time Daquan Wright's going to run a corner to the other side, and it's just another corner route this time for the touchdown. It's a little bit of a different route combo to trick the Miami defense up, but it's pretty similar route combos there, and you get another Daquan Wright major play.
Yeah, this time instead of a streak, there's a post on the other side that clears out that safety, and then Daquan Wright wide open, and it's great play design, and it's great execution from Ole Miss. It's great execution. It's just perfect.
If you're IU, you're watching that and saying, you have 2 guys that are amazing in the corners, Elijah Surratt and Charlie Becker. So if you run those corner routes, it could be a really successful day for those IU receivers.
Yeah. And so right now, Miami 24 seconds up in the game, down 3. Will they have to settle for the 3 to tie this game, or will they be able to get in the end zone and pretty much wrap this game up? Right here, major play, 2nd and goal. You're going to see 3 receivers to the left here for Miami, as they're all going to run to the opposite side of the field, leaving the left side of the field just wide open here, as Beck eventually realizes this, recognizes, gets a little bit of pressure, decides to scramble. Just easy touchdown right there for him.
Yeah, I think this is a play that Ole Miss is going to live to regret for a while. You drop a lot of people into coverage, and then suddenly everyone's on one side of the field, and then all of your defenders on one side of the field, and no one's watching the quarterback. And I believe Beck didn't have like a crazy run game that day. So they weren't quite expecting him to just take off, but he has done it before. You need to be ready for that, especially in this game-sealing position that you're in.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Carson Beck is really not known for using his legs as much as probably a Mendoza or a Dante Moore, but we see him use his legs and get the touchdown when no one was really open. No receivers were open. He just runs it right in for 7. I think they didn't go for 2 here. I don't know why I thought they did.
No, they didn't need to. They're up 4 now, and just a major now Ole Miss has not much time to respond. They need a touchdown, 18 seconds. You're going to see Chambliss make a few plays here. You're going to see a post route here by Lee as he's going, and then Chambliss is going to throw this in between 3 defenders here. A beautiful ball right in between, rifles it in a major pickup. They're already at the 50.
Yeah, huge play. It sets them up to be able to maybe win this thing if they play their cards right. It's a crazy play to get them in a great position.
Yeah, and we see Trinidad Chambliss on this 20-second drill here. He doesn't quit. There's no quit in this Ole Miss team.
And they are helped by college rules of clock stopping after
Yes, they are.
first down.
Yeah,
But
it reminds you similarly of like the 13 seconds Chiefs drive, although the Chiefs, luckily for them, only needed a field goal for that. Ole Miss has to end this in the end zone, and that's when this right here comes up. Final plays. They got another play to even get this even closer. They're at the 35 now. Final play, you're going to see everyone's just going to go deep. You got to get in the end zone. You're going to have a little bit, or Chambliss decides his best look is to the outside here, as he's going to scramble out, avoid pressure, launch it. The ball's placed right in the corner. Really good ball there, as it's quite controversial there. Ole Miss receiver, you can see arguing for the pass interference. He does not get it, and that is just the game right there. Miami wins and goes to the national championship game.
yeah, and if you have seen the clip from Amon-Ra St. Brown, refs don't like to call penalties on the last play of the game. Unfortunately for him, that happened to him. They called the penalty on him. But, you live and you learn. But refs don't typically like to call penalties on the last play of the game because they just want to put everything out there, that type of deal. This time, though, it seemed a little excessive. I mean, falling down on top of a receiver, it feels like pass interference, especially. It's not like the ball was uncatchable. It definitely hit the hand of the receiver, and if he's not getting pushed down, maybe he can be putting his feet down. And I know Noah has a different take on this.
Yeah. I feel like the whole game they were battling for the ball. The whole game. And there was not many PIs in this game. And then, last play of the game, very controversial. It was a deep throw. They're hand battling. That's how I see it. There's no PI on that. I wouldn't have called that either. I've seen it before where the refs have kept it in their pocket. The Giants-Commanders game, which I like to refer to a lot, in 2022 on Sunday Night Football, when I think it was Holmes on the back of Terry McLaurin, and there was no call in that game, which that was blatant PI. But I don't think this one was.
I think it was a little more than hand fighting, but
Yeah.
it's over now.
Yeah, I'm going to fall with Gabe on this one, but also doesn't matter too much. It would have given them the ball at the 20 with one more shot at it. It would have been probably a similar play. They probably would have tried to go to the corner again. But it just, overall, it doesn't matter now. Miami's in the national title game. That's who IU will be playing. I think it sets up an awesome matchup. And, yeah, do we have anything else to add on the national championship?
Just one more thing on that play. If you get that PI call, you're on the 20, but that also means everything is super condensed now, and there's less room to throw the ball. There's less room to maybe do hook and lateral play if you want it. It gets tighter in the red zone. It's harder to execute, except for the IU team that just loves to throw touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss would have had a shot for a receiver to come down with the ball. And we don't know if that would have happened, but
Right.
they would have been able to throw a ball up where a receiver can go up and catch it. But it's not the world we live in. So Miami proceeds to the national title game. And let's transition now. We've had some NFL playoffs going on. We had first round of it, wild card weekend, and I think we had a lot of great football. Let's first talk about the one game that wasn't good football, the most recent Texans-Steelers. I think that Texans defense might be maybe the most scary unit to face out of any teams.
And I also think the Steelers' offense is the least scary unit to face.
Bad matchup.
Bad matchup for the Steelers. I did like the Steelers' defense in this game for the first half, maybe even 3 quarters of the game. But then when the offense starts turning the ball over on their own side of the field, there's only so much you can ask. And It was very easily to predict the Steelers to lose. The only thing you could really do is be like, well, Mike Tomlin's 14-1 on Monday nights. But, it was going to be a Steelers loss.
Yeah. Now, let's not act like the Steelers didn't have plenty of opportunity. This game was 7-6 heading into the fourth quarter. 23 points by the Texans in the fourth quarter. A lot of that was just because their defense got turnovers, including Aaron Rodgers' last potentially career throw being a pick six. It just a really bad fourth quarter collapse from Steelers. I get their offense wasn't good all game, but then it fully collapsed in on them at the end.
Wasn't good for the past 3 weeks. I mean, you get DK back this week, but it just wasn't enough. There's just not enough offensive capability there. Darnell Washington also out, broken arm. Not gonna be able to do a lot.
I feel like you're relying way too much on Marcus Valdez Scanlon.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
They got no one else.
They do have no one else.
Adam Thielen was huge this game, which is kind of nuts. But Adam Thielen had a terrific game. Marcus Valdez-Scantling goes back with Rodgers a long time. They're buddies. Ben Skronik, I don't know if he had much offensive reps, but he's also buddies with Rodgers. He's a huge special teamers for the Steelers. It just wasn't a great look.
Yeah. And, that's also the end of Mike Tomlin's career probably also, which is kind of a sad way for him to go out as a future Hall of Famer in the league.
I mean, sad way for him to go out, but also the way he ended the past 7 years.
This is true.
So,
yeah.
I mean...
He probably just wish he would have had at least one more good one, but he did not.
No, he did have one more good one. One more 10-7 season to finish it out.
That's better than 9-8, and that's something to, applaud him for. The Steelers were, I think, everyone's, other than maybe the Panthers, weakest team in this playoffs by far. And they looked like it. Houston rolls. Now let's get on the first game. Rams, Panthers. I know Lane might have something to comment on this game. I don't know if he will, but...
Kept it a little close.
Kept it a little close.
Closer than I felt comfortable with.
Yeah.
I am a huge Bryce Young believer, and he showed it in the ending of this game. The first half, it was a little rough. I think the Rams had a pretty good lead and then suddenly didn't have a pretty good lead, but they still came out with the win. Bryce Young, I still think, Rod Wave has to be the biggest inspirational speaker of all time. For those that don't know, Bryce Young was benched last year. Rod Wave tweeted out, "Ayo, Bryce Young, call me." And then when Bryce Young came back, he was a different player.
Yeah. And also when the Panthers have had success this year, it really mainly fell on Bryce maybe having a better performance, but also Rico Dowdle playing well, and he was just non-existent this game as a whole. They went to Chuba Hubbard a lot more than they went to Dowdle. He was meh. He got 2 touchdowns, but he didn't get many per carry. Only long of 8 also. That's not very long. Didn't get a ton on the ground. Really put it all on Bryce. He played pretty well, but the Rams are a really good football team and were just too much for the Panthers to handle.
If you are a Panthers fan, there is so much hope going forward. Even though you did finish the season 8-9 and made the playoffs, there's still so much hope with this young core and Bryce Young.
And Dave Canales.
Yes.
Oof.
He's a very good coach.
Yeah.
He's turned this thing around, and he's also not scared to move personnel around. With Bryce Young being benched last year, that's a lot of guts to bench a first-rounder, and he was perfectly fine doing it because he felt that was the need, and that's great to have out of a head coach.
Yeah. Rams move on. Stafford was weird in this game because he was awesome to start the game, terrible in the middle, and then awesome at the end.
Let me just say, he almost broke his finger. That's why.
Ooh, okay.
So he there was a slow motion thing. It went back really far.
It's a strain on his
Didn't he
finger.
jam it on another one's helmet or something?
On another player's hand.
Oh, hand. Oh,
well, that also adds some.
So we had to play on that.
Maybe that adds a little bit of concern though for them next week, as they're going to be facing.
He got it cleared.
Okay, he got cleared.
Yes.
All right,
Per
but
sources.
they will be facing the Chicago Bears, who had just a wild one.
Perfect game.
It was 21-3, right at half,
Yeah.
and 25 points in the fourth quarter from the Bears to be able to come back in this game. Caleb Williams was so inconsistent this game. He made plays in the fourth quarter specifically to be able to win. But 24 for 48, 361 yards is insane. But then 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A wild stat line there. Their run game was okay. It did all right. Didn't get 100 yards, but neither did Green Bay. Green Bay, I think Jordan Love had a pretty solid game at points also, but he also had some inconsistencies. An insane game as the Bears make a major comeback and win the game at home.
It's the Bears' recipe all season. Be mid to bad in 3 quarters and then be absolutely incredible in the 4th quarter. And it's just worked for them.
Yeah, I mean, you know how everyone puts the 4s up when you enter the 4th quarter?
Yeah.
The Bears should start doing that at the beginning of the game. it might get them the right headset.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're an NFL fan of any team not in the NFC North, you absolutely love this Bears team. I love watching them. They're so young and they're so fun. It's just a great team to watch.
It's also a great rivalry. I mean, the handshake after the game is going to become iconic for this
Very quick
rivalry as long as these head coaches are in place.
We need LaFleur to stay as a Packers head coach just for the rivalry because Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur hate each other more than I think any other 2 coaches do.
Yeah.
They have zero respect for each other.
I mean, it's complete opposite of John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin. Rivalry teams, but they still have respect for each other. No.
No
respect.
Zero
All
respect.
rivalry.
All hate.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin had complete respect for each other as coaches. These guys, no. Nothing.
Yeah. Like before games, you can see Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh having conversations with each other. These guys won't even handshake for more than 2 seconds.
No conversation being had between those two. No love at all. They're just out. Yeah. See you later.
And something I liked from the post game, from the locker room meeting after the game, is the coach is just really hyper. Yeah, we won, and then Caleb Williams is like, guys, we gotta be better. We gotta be better, and that's great leadership to have out of a coach. Obviously, you want a great motivator in your coach, and you want a little bit of a leader in your quarterback. It just helps to have those 2 personalities beside each other. And I'm sure at some point Caleb loosened up and was going nuts.
Yeah, and I mean Bears fans who also that happen to also be IU football fans, which do exist,
Northwest
have to
Indiana.
be just loving their life right now as a football fan. And also the future this Bears team has also, because it's a quite young core of good players here. And a really young coach, if you're a Bears fan, you're thinking not just this year, you're thinking 5 more years of this.
Campbell, it's funny that you mentioned that, but before I entered the studio, I heard somebody saying, if you're a Bears and an IU fan, this feels like a dream, and you don't want to wake up from it ever.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. You got to realize Indianapolis Colts have not existed for a very long time, so there is a lot of people that have lived in Indiana before that and have been Bears fans because the Bears have been pretty much the closest team.
Well, I mean, the Bears are going to be in Indiana soon.
Yeah, they're being Gary.
So it's the Gary Bears we're talking about.
Bears.
Gary Bears, crazy.
But other than the playoffs, the NFL coach carousel is huge this year. It's the Dolphins are looking for a head coach. The Ravens are looking for a head coach. Mike Tomlin's stepping down. The Steelers are looking for a head coach. The Browns are looking for a head coach. The Giants are looking for a head coach. This year, there is so much shakeup happening with the teams.
Yeah, and today John Harbaugh officially visited the Giants for the first time. They flew him there on a private jet. They gave him everything he wanted, apparently. So
it's the first visit he's taken, right?
Yeah, first one he's taken. So
I think he's definitely going to eye that, but he's going to take a few more interviews because he right now is the number 1 guy, and if I was the number 1 guy in the head coaching, I would
see what everyone else
look
has
at
to
everyone
offer.
and
Yeah.
see what the truly best situation is. And I think he is going to do that. And I think we might not see many organizations hire anyone until he's off the menu because you want to take your shot at him also. So once he's gone, that might be when we start rapidly seeing some coaches get hired. But right now, I think all eyes are on where John Harbaugh is going.
The other thing that I've seen is several teams have looked at Marcus Freeman for head coaching vacancies. However, he has initially declined them. Not to say that he won't continue to hear them, but he has said he wants to stay. So it just depends on the offer that comes along, depends on the team, because obviously you don't want to make your first choice be a horrible team with no outlook. But you never know until you make those meetings and those interviews to determine what has better outlook.
And the Marcus Freeman news, I do believe I saw that he has a press conference scheduled for today. It has not happened yet, but you have to imagine that if he is going to if he is fully saying he's staying, he's going to announce that then.
Yeah.
If he doesn't say that, that would be when all eyes in the NFL are going to be like, whoa, he didn't say he's staying. Let's go get him.
Yeah, and the other thing I saw today is that the Falcons also have a head coach vacancy. They have requested to, I don't know if it was the Falcons. Someone has requested to have an interview with offensive coordinator for the Steelers, Arthur Smith, to be a head coach again.
If it's the Falcons, that's so funny. I don't think it is, but that's really funny if it's the Falcons again.
Let me see. It's the Cardinals.
It's the Cardinals. That makes more sense. Falcons going back to him would be wild.
Falcons have requested Antonio Pierce for their head coach.
Okay.
I think the funniest one to me is Titans are interviewing Jason Garrett. I think that is maybe the funniest thing of all time, and I'm a full advocate for it. Let's get Jason Garrett back coaching football. That's hilarious.
Would he ruin Cam Ward's life? Probably, yeah.
Oh, I think it would go so poorly and be hilarious.
It's a weird time for the NFL. I think it's a quarter of the teams need a head coach. It's a lot, and that's just going to be something we're going to see as the following weeks come along, as well as what happens in coaching carousel in college with people moving around.
And I want to say one last thing. I think the most intriguing to me personally is, will Mike McDaniel get another head coaching job, or will he just be the best offensive coordinator in the league next year?
As a Steelers fan, I have been contemplating with the idea of him as my head coach.
Head coach?
Yes, because the Steelers have had zero offense for years and years and years. And to bring someone in that is all offense, it feels promising. But it's just not what the Steelers do.
As an NFL fan, I'm worried about the Eagles hiring him as offensive coordinator.
What about Stefanski? What if
that
could be terrible?
I think Stefanski deserves to be a head coach. I think
really
he's a
does,
good head
yes.
coach. I think the Browns organization just is terrible. I think he's a good head coach whenever he's had a good team.
Isn't he 2-time coach of the year?
Yeah. Whenever he gets a good team,
coach.
he wins. Not just whenever he gets a good team does he win. Whenever he gets a good team, he wins coach of the year.
Yeah.
So
it's just they haven't been able to build a great team. They trade for a quarterback that hasn't played very many snaps for them. They traded so much stock for that.
I mean, I'm a Colts fan. I would love Stefanski to be my coach. We're not even a team with an available head coaching, but I would that is a guy I would totally be fine with as a head coach of my team.
I would also like to see if John Gruden gets hired this offseason, because right now he's doing what we're doing. He's doing a podcast, and he hasn't touched the coaching sheet in about a couple years. But I could see even a college team going out there and getting John Gruden.
Yeah. The buzz has died down, though, a bit, I do believe. It felt strong for a while there, and the John Gruden buzz has significantly died down.
I think the buzz died down because everyone's got their ears up listening for what's actually happening instead of trying to
of a
predict.
podcast.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what's happening? Everyone's just like on the edge of their seat waiting to figure it out instead of trying to guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's all for today. We have had a great conversation here. National championship coming up, end of the NFL playoffs coming up, the coaching carousel. It's a lot, and you're just going to have to tune in next time on Inside the Playbook and see what happens next.